Hello, friends. Welcome back to this next episode of the Veteran Transfer Resume video series. Today's topic is organize. We're going to talk about the structure of the resume, just how it is formatted, and right now we're not going to worry about what content to put in there or how to think about the actual sentences or what accomplishments or awards to put on. Again, our last video was KISS, Keep It Simple Student. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend you go back, check it out. It just talks about the mindset we're going to have moving into this resume procedure. So on to organize. We have these three sections: education, work experience, skills, and interests. And we're going to talk about what goes in each one. Of course, the first thing you have is your header, your name, kind of what you are and what you're getting into, and some basic contact information. And I have a sample resume here. It came in later in my, actually I think this is after some graduate stuff, but the structure is the same. And I looked for some old resumes to use, what did it look like before I applied? And I really didn't like it. It was kind of messy. So I'm just using this one that I have now. So again, here's your headline, your title. These are things that are kind of describing me right now. Not super crucial, especially at the applying for transfer stage. You can put, the way I have here, like what your current rate or rating is or whatever your service uses. And you can also put this line, I don't have it in my resume, but you can put, if you know what you want to do, then it doesn't hurt to include it there so that they also know. And then you have these three sections that we'll talk about: your education, your experience, and your skills and interests. So, education is just what it sounds like. You list the colleges you've attended with the most recent first. So in my example, I have my most recent one, which is Stanford. And then I have the way I do it is, this is sort of the degree level you're pursuing, your major, and then we'll talk about the relevant coursework. So I have MS in this, BS in this. For my community college, I have AA in this. And this is a good example because you guys might have something similar. You might have already gotten your associates, in which case you just have one date, which is your graduation date. And then same here, I already have my bachelor's at this resume. But then for the MS, I have expected graduation March 2024. So obviously that's past. Another thing you can do, as I have here, is show your dates attended. So it might say, September 2022 to March 2024. Okay. So relevant coursework is completely optional. I started putting it later on, but this is only if you know what degree field you want to get into and you have done coursework that very specifically works toward that. Not like engineering and I did some calculus. They will look at your transcript. It's like if you want to get into neuroscience and you've taken some specific things that build toward neuroscience, some specific psychology or physiology courses. Work experience, right? For a lot of us, for a lot of us veterans, this is going to be sort of the workhorse of the resume, because this is where we've kind of done the most things and we can talk about them. Structure is very simple. Again, most recent first. You have your duty station. You can include the location of that duty station, and then the dates attended, your job title, and I'll show you these examples, and then some bullets of stuff you've done. And in the example, now you can see that I did use Stanford as an experience block. I was there for 4, 5, 6 years, and there are things that I did that are relevant. There are work experience, some research, some class that I did that involved a bunch of interviews or a bunch of work-related skills. And I'm including this because you might also be doing that at your community college or wherever it is you're transferring from. You might have some work-related skills, and it's totally fine to include them in your resume. Now, this is more of a duty station thing, your dates of attendance, your title. So again, that might be your MOS or your NEC. And these I've made as sort of what collaterals or in what aspect of myself were these accomplished, right? So as platoon communications assistant department head, 2 bullets. Again, don't worry about what we're including. This is only the structure. As this thing responsible for whatever, this bullet. Then we have another duty station. Boom, more dates. The title that I held that is relevant to these bullets, and then skills and interests, which we'll get into next. This is the less structured and demanding, and actually gets to be a little fun, because here you can just put things that you think are interesting, maybe even quirky about you, but maybe do not warrant an entire, even a short essay, or didn't quite make it. They're not really an accomplishment that you can list as a work experience or even an education bullet point. But something like being a native speaker in a cool language, or, playing a musical instrument, or having been some tour guide for something, or having some odd special certification, right? So what I put here is the languages I'm comfortable with in order of comfort. Some of them are really stretching the ability, and then the programming language is, again, that's something that I developed in college, so it might not be relevant starting out. But if you do these creative things that, again, maybe don't warrant a full bullet or something like an essay, this is the place to list them. And then I have these little quals that I got, some in the Navy, some later. Scuba diver, free fall. Oh, that's embarrassing. Okay. Here's my personal but very strong opinion. Do not use skills and interests to say things like leadership, communication, time manager, organizer, whatever. To me, those are not skills. Those are things, attributes about yourself that should show through your actions. They should show through your accomplishments. They should show through your essays. And ideally, they are discussed by the people who write about you, because those are things that it's really difficult to say about yourself without sounding like you're tooting your own horn. Okay, so that is it for organize. Again, just like in the first video, keep it simple. No fancy borders, fonts, nothing like that. Do not worry about, even at this stage, what content you're putting in there. Just think about the structure that we talked about throughout the video, right? So heading, education, experience, skills and interests, descending order, your colleges, your work locations with their accomplishments, and then the bullets of things that are cool but didn't quite make it anywhere else. Okay. Again, like, share, comment if you have any questions. Please enjoy the life you have, the people around you, share the love, and until next time, friends.